So, hi there. So, I know this topic is going to resonate with a lot of you, and it's all about time. We constantly are saying we don't have enough time. Now, when that comes to an art practice, I'm going to tell you that you do have time. I'm Lisa Lemmy. I'm a self taught artist based out of St. Albert, Alberta, Canada. And I help people get in touch with their creative side. And in doing that, find more peace and joy in their lives than they ever thought possible. So let's get back to the topic of time. Now, I created just a short little presentation for you. And in that presentation, I am going to share with you some three tips, three things that I've done to help me keep a regular art practice. So here is, I think this might be Adele, I'm not sure, but I think this is something that we say all too often. And if we really look at it, there are things that we can do to change things up and have more time for an art practice. So, first things first. Number one, having a work area set up with all your creative supplies at hand. That is probably my number one tip. And it is something that I put into practice quite some time ago. To me, I have to have all my supplies in front of me and ready to go so that I stay motivated. So I think this really happened during the pandemic. And what has helped me is I ended up moving all my art to the dining room table. And I would have it. It would be there to greet me in the morning, and it would be the last thing I saw at night before I retired for the evening. But with everything there, it just made it so much easier. And as you know, if you follow me at all, you know that colored pencil is my medium of choice. And what I love most about it is that it's portable and it's not messy. So I can literally set up anywhere. I can set up at the dining room table, I can set up at the eating bar, or if I'm feeling especially luxurious, I can go to my art room. But that's not always necessary. I can actually create downstairs. And I kind of like creating downstairs because I'm surrounded by all the other activity of the household, and I like being around my husband. So that's why I choose and why I favor working at the art table. So that is one way you can kind of trick yourself into having a regular art practice. And the second is doing a time audit. Now, when I first heard that, I thought, ugh, it just sounded so corporate. I didn't want to get into time audit. But to my surprise, it is actually a very useful thing to do. I mean, you can even check out your phone activity and you can see how much time you've actually spent on your device, and it can be quite sobering. Most times, I think on average, I'm usually, it shows that I've been on my device for 3 hours plus. Now, not all that time is looking at social feeds, but I do have a guilty pleasure. It tends to be one of the first things I do, first thing in the morning, and also the last thing I do before I go to bed. I'm checking out all the social platforms, getting some inspiration and that kind of thing. So that is something that I do, and I see that somebody has joined me. So if you want to drop in the chat, say who you are, where you're joining me from, that would be great. Um, yeah, so time audit, it's very useful. And again, can be quite sobering to see where your time is going. So I guess the challenge that I want to present to you is all of us have 10 minutes, whether that's in the morning, whether that's, in the afternoon or the evening. I challenge you over the next week to spend at minimum 10 minutes on your art practice. Now, think about it. If you only spent 10 minutes, you've now spent 70 minutes over the course of the week. It is amazing what you can do in that period of time. And I think what you will find is that those 10 minutes will just fly by, and you're going to want to have to you're not going to want to just wrap things up. You're going to want to spend a little more time. So just do that as an exercise. I think you're going to find that really valuable. So as I said, I really highly recommend doing a time audit. And thirdly, I hear this, I've been guilty of saying this. We're always saying, well, I will create when I feel inspiration to do so. That is hogwash because if you wait for that to happen, you are going to be interrupted by the dishes, you're going to be interrupted by housework, you're going to be interrupted by a phone call or staring at your phone and scrolling through social media. So why not instead, to borrow the Nike phrase, just do it. So just do it. And action is everything. So once you do it, I swear you're going to get into the flow in no time. So those are three things that are going to help you with this whole issue of time and how you feel like time has control over you, because you will hear the argument from countless people that we all have, same 24 hours in a day. It's how we use them. And I think there is a lot to be said about that. So I'm going to just pop into the comments here and see if I can see any comments from anyone. And I don't see any, but I do know that there is someone joining me. So that is great. So if you are interested in, learning a little bit more about who I am and all the places I'm on Facebook, I'm on Pinterest, I'm also on Instagram. And I just want to share with you while I have you here is I will be doing another workshop. I'm scheduling one for next week. I don't have a date set yet, but when I do, it's going to appear on my Linktree link in my bio. And you can find that on Instagram and you can find it on Pinterest. And what I'm planning is, like I said, a workshop all about beginner color pencil, just to kind of tease you a little bit, because this is a lead in to a much bigger course. It's 10 modules, and it's a course that I'll be launching in early November. And I have a pre-order page already set up on my Linktree profile, and you can find it there. And I would love if you could join me in that course. I know I've met so many of you through these platforms, and I think all of us have those same aspirations about, reviving our creative practice. So I would love to see you on the inside of that. But I will try to be more regular and more disciplined with getting out more tips and tricks about colored pencil as time wears on. As you can appreciate, it's been quite busy behind the scenes pulling all this together to build out the course. But I do want to thank you for your support, and all the engagement means the world to me. So with that, and as I said, I don't see anything in the comments section. And if you did leave a comment, my apologies. Alternatively, you could just tell me you popped in, and you could share that information either on YouTube, because I'm broadcasting live to YouTube as well as Facebook. And of course, my email, you see that there, and my website. And with that, I want you to go out there, take that 10-minute challenge, devote 10 minutes to your art practice, and I will talk to you soon.